Hey guys, it's Chopper Rick. Got something a little bit different today. I took an 8x10 canvas, I put black gesso over it, and I let it dry. And then I took some sandpaper, like I did in my other video, and I sanded it down lightly, took all the bumps and humps off of it, and smoothed it up. And I put some tape around the edges, and put another coat of black gesso in the middle of it that wasn't taped. And liquid medium, started painting, and turns out it kind of made a makeshift border around it, and I think that's really cool. So yeah, I've done a little bit something like that before, and this one's kind of cool because it's been a while since I've done an Aurora, and I think it was due time. You know, I really enjoy doing these Auroras. So anyway, that being said, without further ado, let's get this thing going. So thanks for watching. Alright, got a little bit of titanium white and cad yellow on a real small flat brush here. We're just going to go up and make our first Aurora line. But before I started recording, I did lay down a thin coat of clear medium and a couple transparent colors, phthalo blue, phthalo green, permanent purple, and permanent light green. Those should make a really cool effect up in the sky, I think. Got the old mop brush here. It's one of my favorite brushes, really. It's good for blending, or like this stuff here. This is an older one, so it's kind of my go-to for anything I need to smash in, you know. It does its job. Trying to keep a real nice and straight edge with this so that I can make the glow come from that Aurora. I don't really want any real hard lines or really thick and goopy white areas, because I like the Auroras to kind of be soft, blended. I always hate when, you know, I'm doing one and I get a real hard white edge and kind of hard to blend that out, you know. So I'll highlight a little bit more on this just to kind of brighten it up a little bit in some of them areas. Pick up some of that transparent color that we've got. You notice the blues and the greens, some of that purple. And that's going to look real good once you start blending these lines up. That's looking real good so far. I like that. I always see these Auroras online and the photos are just awesome. I've never seen them in person. I hope that I actually get to before I die. One day. Make a little bit, another little line here. I want to keep it kind of away from that one edge. When I bring it up with my mop brush, I want to have a little bit of darkness, create kind of like that illusion of motion, if you will, up in the sky, and that radiant glow, you know. A couple more up here, just kind of doodadding around. I always think these auroras are really cool. Sometimes they can like make shapes, you know, and you can almost see like, you know, a bird or like, something like that. It's like clouds. You always kind of see something in it. Now I'm not cleaning off the mop brush at all. I'm just kind of wiping it off in a towel. Trying not to pick up too much of that other color and blend too much of it. I want to keep what's on that canvas and not contaminate it too much right now. I like the way that's looking for now, so far. Straight lines. Just you want to try to keep it going the same angle and direction. If you have one going one way and the other going the other way, like it kind of makes it like kind of wonky. You want it kind of uniform. Kind of imagine smoke, like if you have a smoky room and you put a fan in there. That fan is going to blow the smoke in a certain direction. And it's kind of the way you want to go with this. It's one kind of fluid, that makes sense. I add a little bit more blue to my line here. Just a real faint touch of the phthalo blue and phthalo green with the titanium white. Hopefully maybe that'll set it to glow a little bit more and radiate. Once we start dragging it up. I really do love this little mop brush. It's became one of my favorites. It's my go-to for all that stuff. And they're so soft too. These here are made of goat hair. So when they're brand new, they're so soft. This one here is still soft, but it's clearly worn and used, that's okay. Just adds it to its character. See how it's starting to glow with that blue, and that's making it really pop. That's really nice. Mixing it with some of that green, that permanent light green that's on there. That's looking cool. I like that. I'm just kind of making little shapes. I'm not really trying to give too much definition. I just kind of want a little bit of a shape, and mainly just to kind of create a little bit of a glow, have some of that white in there and the cad yellow to just kind of make a little bit of something going on back there, a little bit of a haze that you see of the glow, that afterglow. These little auroras are so fun to paint. as you can see, I've got the edges taped off here. Got a little surprise, cooked up. I think it'd be pretty cool. It's kind of cool in my head anyway, so we'll see how it looks when it's done. That same dirty brush, I didn't bother cleaning it off. The titanium white and all the other phthalo green, phthalo blue. Just gonna dab it in some at the bottom. Kind of start make our little snowy area. Just a little basic color here, nothing crazy. Blend some of this out. Try the old mop brush, little scrubber. Be a little bit better. I'm just trying to blend it, make some base color here, that glow. I don't really want it being too bright, but I do want something being there right now. See just a little tiny bit of that white starting to grow up into that darkness and kind of make those transparent colors pop. And that's the best part of this little technique here, you know, is that little tricks like that. A little bit more white, actually putting it on with my mop brush there. Wipe it off and start blending it up, gonna smoke it up a little bit. Drag it out a little bit, just kind of blend them edges. You know, you don't want to see where one color starts and one color ends and the other color begins. Just a little bit of a gradient. We'll start tapping in the trunks of our trees here. Just got a little number 4 fan brush with some Mars black on it. Trying a little bit different thing on this one, a little different approach. Instead of having the trees straight up and down, I'm having a little bit of an angle and like a forced perspective type of thing, you know, making it where you're almost looking up at them. You're at level ground, if you will. We'll see how it works. Just spacing them out and making the trunks for right now. I've kind of got an idea to use a filbert brush to make my actual trees, which I've never done before. I'm just tapping it down. I'm taking some ivory black on my Simply Simmons brush. First time I'm ever using it. First time I'm ever trying to do these trees here, evergreens, pine trees, what do you want to call them? I don't really know. With a filbert brush. I've had a lot of people say that they swear by them, the filberts for the trees. I've never actually done it, so this is a learning experience right here, first time. They seem to lay a lot different than the corner of your fan brush, almost like you get just a little bit more surface area. Feels like, anyway. I kind of like that. This is just a number 10 Simply Simmons filbert brush. I love the way these bristles feel. I've never used a Simply Simmons before. I love this. This is a really nice brush, I think. I'm gonna have to invest in some more of these. Still early, but I really like the way this one's turning out, actually. And I kind of like these trees too, the way they're, kind of in business for themselves, kind of crooked and leaning. It's a much different approach from my usual. I usually stand them up and straight, and you know, I like this one. Alright, add a little bit of color here, a little titanium white, and that real light touch of phthalo blue. Just kind of lightly going in and touching some of that snowy area and bringing some of the black down from them trees, creating kind of a little bit of a shadow and some depth. Just real light, just kind of going in there. A little bit more titanium white there. Phthalo blue, just real super light. Cause that phthalo blue is it's powerful. It really is. You don't need a lot. We're trying to do snow. Really easily could we turn that into a lake with this phthalo blue. So the titanium white, I'm gonna highlight these trees here with my filbert. I really like the feel of that. That's definitely different. It takes some getting used to, for sure, but I like that so far. I thinned down the titanium white just a little bit, because that Mars black was pretty thick on there. I didn't want to muddy it up too much. I want to. This is only like our first stage of highlighting, so it doesn't need to pop so much, but we do want it there. I don't want to muddy it up and just make it completely gray. Just real easy and light at the top of the trees there. A little bit more pressure as we go down. Yeah, I'm really liking this filbert brush. I've tried to do these trees like that with filbert brush before, and I guess it was just the brush I was trying to use, because it just was not happening. And this one here, it's better quality than the one I was using. I can definitely tell. I can just feel it. And I'm getting quiet again. Usually when I'm doing these trees here, I start kind of zone out. And I apologize for doing that, but that just kind of happens. I start doing it, and they just kind of start kind of taking over, and it's kind of I just let it happen, I guess. But like I said, for these videos here and these tutorials, it kind of makes for a boring and lackluster tutorial if you're just gonna, if I'm gonna sit here and watch it and, basically be doing it, but like I'm watching it with you guys, um, make some more of that snow here and blend real light. We don't want to go too crazy, make too much of them shadow, but we do want something to be there. A little bit of darkness anyway, like say make little hills and bumps and stuff like that within that edge. I'm just like mixing all those colors on the brush. I'm not doing anything too crazy with it. A little bit more titanium white and a little tiny bit of thinner. Make that thin paint stick to the thick paint. Oh, that's nice. I like that with that filbert there, making that almost looks like a heavy branch. Like there's a lot of snow on that one branch. I like that a lot. And to me, it's kind of hard to get that look. You know what I mean? With a fan brush. That seemed kind of easy to do with the filbert there, just with your pressure. That's really all it comes down to, is the pressure, that we're not jamming it into the canvas. We're not, barely tapping it. We got to know, got to play with it a little bit. That one, I like the feel of that one there. I'm definitely gonna play with this filbert a little bit more and you know, be more introduced different trees and stuff. And I really, really think I'm gonna practice a little bit more with it because I like it, a lot. Get a little peek right there. Just real easy at the top. You don't want to make it too. There we go. We'll go over it, make it a little bit different. If we don't like it, we can change it. That's fine. That's the best part of it. Something doesn't sit right, we can change it. We can make a hill, we can make a pond, we can remove trees, we can put trees where trees weren't before. It's the best part of all of this. We can just do what we want. We don't have any, any kind of authorities trying to tell us we can't build a shack right there, a little shed. We can't, plant these trees. We can't cut these trees down because, they're protected or whatever. We can do whatever we want. It's our world, and we can have whatever we want in it. And right now, I want these trees to be right here. Oh yeah, it's looking alright, I think. A little more of that titanium white in our snow area. Yeah, just kind of blend that up a little bit and fade it in. Like I said, with that black there, that Mars black from our trees, we can make that work to our advantage. Make little shadows and little hills and bumps and recesses and whatnot. And I think that's really cool. Just how easy that is to do, create that illusion, blending these colors in like that. That's just for me. That's really cool. A little bit of the blue there on our brush to kind of give that extra little bit of a light reflection from the auroras, maybe. Nothing too crazy. We just want a little bit of a hint for the eye, kind of create a little bit of a glimmer, if you will, I guess. Glint, glimmer, whatever you want to call it. This is an 8x10 canvas, but when I taped it off there, you're looking at much smaller, like 4.5 by 6.25 inch, which that's pretty cool. I mean, to have you know, the canvas like that and make it almost look like it's gonna be a border, you know. I don't know, I think that's kind of cool. In my, like I said, in my head it worked, but we'll see how it looks at the end. Just going, still adding some of that blue. Just real easy hints. Nothing too much and too crazy. We don't want to take away from any of it. Just want to add to it. I'm gonna add a little bit to this tree here. I'm not really liking the way he's sitting. You gotta be real careful. You're muddying up right there. You're gonna have to maybe tone it down a little bit with some of the black, or at least some of a darker color. That dark gray kind of give it that illusion of depth. Because otherwise, it's just a little bit too prominent and white. There we go. And as you add that black, that little bit of a shadow back into it, you're picking up on the white, so you're making it that gray and making little branchy type things happen by natural. We're gonna go ahead and add a couple, while we're at it, add a couple background trees that are in the distance. Nothing too detailed. We don't need it. Can't really see them that well being at night and these big trees in front of it, so just need a little bit of lines here and bring it up a little bit where it hits that color so you can kind of see the break. Doing this all with that little filbert, and that's really cool to me, because, you know, it seems to be a pretty versatile little brush. And like I said, this my first time using this brush, so kind of just trying to see what she's capable of, and so far I'm really liking it. Alright. I could add a little bit of trees there on the sides, but I think that's actually kind of cool the way it sits. Actually, you get a little bit of a background trees and whatnot, so I'm just gonna sign it. Actually, I'm not gonna add too much to it, and it seems like a good balance with that aurora and the trees. I think, I don't know, we'll see. It could all change, who knows. Like I said, that's the best part of these paintings, you know. We get done with one, and if we don't like it or don't like something about it, want to start over again, there ain't nothing saying we can't do it. I usually sign in white, but I'm hitting that blue, a little bit of blue and black, and sign it in that so it could show up against that snow. I don't want it to blend in too much with that snow, but I don't want to take away from the actual piece either, so. Alright. Time for the 3. Alright. Here we go. Big reveal. Make sure it's all going to come up. That's pretty cool, I think. I really like that. Moment of truth. Last bit. There we go.